while we talk about vacuum bag sealers. So on the agenda, we're to find on Sigma's website, we're going to define what a vacuum bag sealer is, how and where where customers use these machines, favorite manufacturers, benefits and features, industries that use a vacuum bag sealer, and questions and key points when talking to customers. So on our website, you'll go to Buy Our Equipment, find Packaging Equipment, find Bag Sealers, and towards the bottom, you will find a Vacuum Bag Sealer category. So what is a vacuum bag sealer? Well, a vacuum bag sealer creates airtight seals around products, typically those containing smaller pieces or liquids. It does so through the creation of a low-pressure environment around the package itself, either through the use of a sealed chamber or an impulse bar system. But why? Why? Why would we use a vacuum bag sealer? Well, there's about three main reasons. It's protection, quality, and space. For protection, it extends the shelf life of your product, reduces the growth of mold and bacteria, and protects against moisture permeation from the product itself. For quality, it preserves your flavor and maintains moisture for your product. And for space, it includes the removal of excess space, and it is cheaper to pack. So for upstream and downstream equipment, we're going to have things like chillers, freezers, hand pack stations, dicers and slicers, and tenderizers, things getting your product ready to be vacuum sealed. And then downstream, we'll have your coders, labelers, cartoners, metal detectors, check weighers, and freezers. So for a production line, for an integration's sake, this machine will never be a part of a production line. This machine is always set off to the side for manual operation. So it'll always go from hand bagging, somebody putting the product into the vacuum sealed bags, actually vacuum sealing it, and then moving on to the packaging part of your production line. Moving on, this is a video of a single chamber vacuum sealer. So you can see here we are vacuum sealing packages of hot dogs, and the guy there, he's putting the excess bag over where the seal bars are going to come down. That's what's actually creating your vacuum seal there. And there you go. You have your vacuum sealed product right there. And then I believe this machine actually has it, or the bags have it, where it has a perforated edge so you can easily tear open the package and get to the product easier. So this is of an impulse vacuum sealer machine. I'll talk about this a little bit more, the difference between a traditional vacuum bag sealer and an impulse sealer in the next slide. But this kind of shows how this machine would work. It is a manual operation with a foot pedal. And I believe that when using an impulse bag sealer, it can only handle very thin types of material that you're going to vacuum seal to your product. But, yeah. So, like I said, the difference between an impulse and a chamber vacuum sealer. An impulse is a lower budget option. It takes up less space, it is slower, and it does have more operator involvement. But for a vacuum chamber, it is costly in comparison and has a larger footprint. But you can vacuum seal multiple bags at once, and it has less operator involvement. Some manufacturers, our favorite would be Ultrasource Koch. That is who we rep new here at Sigma. VC999, Multivac, and Sealed Air. Industries used in this will primarily be for your fresh product. For meat, fish, anything that has a relatively short shelf life can be vacuum sealed. Some category takeaways, some optional add-ons for the motor horsepower on chambers and the height customization for the chambers. For sales, it's good to know what your customer's production speeds and samples are, and the liquid temperature of what's being sealed. If you have a product that has, let's say it's being cooked and it comes out boiling hot, it cannot immediately be taken into a vacuum bag sealer. It will seal, that heat will expand, it will explode and ruin your product and your packaging. So there needs to be some step in between, whether it be a chiller or some offset piece that is cooling the product down before being vacuum sealed. For acquisitions, we need to ensure that the vacuum pump is functional. It's important to check on the state of that because that is important for the overall system. And for the warehouse, we need to make sure that we are securing the lids and protecting the sides of these machines when they are in transport. Engineering questions, we need to know what the thickness of the package is, the height of the product, the production speed, and if it's a liquid or solid product or anything in between. Our equipment listing example number 1 is going to be E16453. This is an Ultrasource UV2100 vacuum bag sealer with a 10 horsepower motor. This is a brand new machine. We have it here at Sigma ready to go right now. It is it has a Bush vacuum pump, a 10 horsepower unit, and it is a dual chamber. For our second example, this is E15481, a single chamber vacuum sealer. It's a 2 horsepower motor, brand new on the floor today, and it is a single chamber for your kind of smaller operations. In short, vacuum bag sealers are designed for efficient and food-safe packaging. Size and speed are the main factors in machine selection, and customers need assistance when venturing into vacuum packaging. They may think it's as easy as using your tabletop home-mounted for your bag of chips, but it is quite different and will require us to educate them on. So, thank you so much. I appreciate it.